I'm Hannah Michaels. This is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
An Amtrak train derailed in southwest Kansas early Monday, sending 32 people to the hospital, 2 in critical condition, authorities reported. The train, bound from Chicago to Los Angeles, went off the tracks just west of Dodge City, about 150 miles west of Wichita, shortly after midnight. 8 of the train's cars derailed, 6 of which tipped over, Earl F. Weiner of the National Transportation Safety Board said at a news conference. Weiner said there was, quote, some indication, end quote, of misalignment on the tracks, but said that investigators were working to fully understand what caused the accident. He said an engineer had pulled the train's emergency brake and was, quote, probably responsible for the train derailment not being worse than it was, end quote. The Transportation Safety Board said it expected its investigators to remain in Kansas for a week as it looked into the accident. Weiner said, quote, the condition of the track is going to be a focus of the investigation, end quote. The safety board was looking into whether another accident had affected the condition of the tracks, which had been inspected on Thursday. The train, which travels more than 40 hours on its route through scenic landscapes in the American West, was carrying 131 passengers and 14 crew members.
SeaWorld announced on Thursday that it would be making big changes. The killer whales currently at SeaWorld will be the last generation of mammals in captivity at its parks. SeaWorld is responding directly to public change and negative views about its parks. Much of the criticism surfaced after the release of CNN documentary Blackfish, which attacks SeaWorld for the treatment of their killer whales. While organizations like People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, have been criticizing SeaWorld for not making enough change, Blackfish director Gabriella Coperwaith called the SeaWorld announcement, quote, a defining moment. The breeding program in particular was central to SeaWorld's business model. The fact that they are doing away with it marks truly meaningful change. But they didn't take a small step. They took a huge one. It's paradigm shifting, end quote. Xavier's Village apartments lie away from the cluster of residence halls in the center of campus quietly across Dana Avenue, which comes with some positives and negatives. Sophie Herlock went over to the Village to take a look at Xavier's on-campus residence hall just off campus.
Village Apartments provide Xavier sophomores, juniors, and seniors a place to live on campus that give them more freedom and independence than a dorm. These apartments come equipped with a full kitchen, 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, a living room, and for many, a balcony.
So the next package is you.
I really enjoy living in the Village because it kind of gets me off campus a little bit. Even though it is far of a walk a little bit, it's still nice kind of being independent and being by myself and with my friends, and having my own living quarters and kitchen and a couple bathrooms. It's really nice.
Just definitely a lot different than living in the dorms. There's not a lot of community. It's pretty much just you're like on your own. Like there's not a lot of like activities for everyone that lives in the Village.
Although living in the Village for over a semester has been a positive experience for them, moving in was quite a different experience.
When I first moved into the Village, my first impression walking in was, oh, this is really cool. This is different than the dorms. And then once I started looking closer, I realized that the place was really dirty, almost like it wasn't cleaned over the summer. Or maybe it was and there's just a lot of dust built up, but my parents had to come and help clean.
Many Village apartments are filled with damages such as holes in the walls and stains on the floors. This one in particular has 2 clogged drains and a broken dishwasher.
The biggest damage that I absolutely hate is our bathroom door, that literally you cannot shut it without like slamming it shut. Holes everywhere in our apartment. There's like holes in my walls, there's holes in the door downstairs. There's just holes everywhere, so that's kind of bothersome.
The broken dishwasher is really inconvenient because after the dishes get cleaned all the way, sometimes there's still spots and you have to go back and hand wash it. And like I said, it's really inconvenient. The clogged sinks, those aren't very convenient either, because especially when you're trying to wash your hands just after using the restroom, or trying to wash your face or brush your teeth, and the sink fills all the way up and then it doesn't drain fast at all. It takes almost overnight for it to drain.
Even filled with damages, the village is a place for Xavier students to call home. Reporting for Xavier News, this is Sophie Herlock.
North Korea's highest court sentenced an American tourist to 15 years in prison with hard labor for subversion on Wednesday, weeks after authorities presented him to media and he tearfully confessed that he had tried to steal a propaganda banner. Otto Warmbier, a University of Virginia undergraduate and Cincinnati native, was convicted and sentenced in a one-hour trial in North Korea's Supreme Court. He was charged with subversion under Article 60 of North Korea's criminal code. The code held that he had committed a crime, quote, pursuant to the U.S. government's hostile policy toward Korea, in a bid to impair the unity of its people after entering it as a tourist, end quote. Before the trial, Warmbier said he had tried to steal a propaganda banner as a trophy for an acquaintance who wanted to hang it in her church. Grounds in North Korea for a subversion charge. He said he was offered a used car worth $10,000 if he could get a banner, and was also told that if he was detained and didn't return, $200,000 would be paid to his mother in the form of a charitable donation. Trials for foreigners facing similar charges in North Korea are generally short and punishments severe. Warmbier was arrested as he tried to leave the country in early January. He was in North Korea with a New Year's tour group.
A 12-car pileup on Combs Hill Bridge Tuesday resulted in an SUV falling off the bridge and into the Ohio River. The vehicle was located 40 feet deep with sonar, but any passengers in the vehicle have yet to be rescued. Dangerous conditions have the river current moving at 8 times its normal speed, delaying all rescue operations. Several 911 calls and witness reports still leave authorities in the dark about how exactly the vehicle ended up going off the side of the bridge. The Boone County Water Rescue Team told authorities that it could be as late as Sunday or Monday before river conditions allow the search to continue.
Every student knows that college comes with its share of stresses, and many students live with constant stress. But the issue may be even larger than you think. Reporter Cameron Stansberry brings us a deeper look into stress on Xavier's campus.
Major burdens college students across the country are dealing with is stress. Whether it is the pressure to perform well in the classroom, create new friendships and social circles, maintain struggling relationships.
It's not my fault. I don't know.
You should. You're the smart one.
Balancing time between school and a part-time job, or even choosing the right career. Stress plays a role in the life of the everyday college student.
Stress plays a large factor in my life at college, just because I feel like in my junior year especially, they've like upped the workload, and in my major we just have a lot of, not busy work, but a lot of like readings and time-consuming homework, so that's increased my stress a lot.
Stress really gets to me. It's tough. It makes it hard to like even enjoy life sometimes, because like I'm stressing out about my next test or the next assignment that's due. I mean, for the most part, the stress control is a lot part of my life.
Although we understand most of the factors that bring about stress in college, we wanted to go deeper and find out how students best cope with the stress that they deal with in their daily lives.
Some things that I do to overcome stress, I work out a lot, and playing sports really helps, especially hanging out with other people. I mean, it kind of gives me, like, it releases all the stress that I have built up throughout the week or throughout a day.
I'd say I cope with it just by really trying to organize everything, and like sometimes like on weekends like I'll have to stay in just to get stuff done, just so like my week will be like less hectic. Like I'll get a lot of stuff done on the weekends, and then my weeks will be easier.
According to NBC News, 4 in every 10 students say they endure stress often, and nearly 1 in 5 say they feel it all or most of the time. However, these issues can be solved through proper time management and taking care of the body through working out and eating healthier foods. Reporting for Xavier News, this is Cameron Stansberry.
President Obama nominated Judge Merrick Garland to be the 113th Supreme Court Justice Wednesday, filling the seat left by the late Judge Antonin Scalia. Judge Garland currently serves as the Chief Justice on the Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. He is widely recognized as one of America's sharpest legal minds by both Republicans and Democrats. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and the Republican Party stand firm on plans to block a new justice entering the Supreme Court until there is a new president. McConnell said, quote, "The American people should have a voice in the selection of their next Supreme Court justice," end quote. Nonprofit organizations do so much good work in many different facets, and one local nonprofit is making a little noise. Reporter Connor Muldoon has the story.
People realize their talents every day, but sometimes a little assistance is needed to uncover those talents. And here in Cincinnati, there's one organization that helps teenagers in the pursuit of their dream.
The Music Resource Center is a nonprofit music recording studio that provides music and radio production education.
Volunteers currently teach lessons in guitar, drums, bass, piano, and vocal instruction. In terms of radio, the opportunities are really pretty open. If they want to do a weekly talk show where they talk opinions on current events or pop culture stuff, they could do that.
The teens love having a place to come to after school to work on a project and just have fun.
I started coming to MRC because my sister and I got in trouble. We told my mom that we were someplace and we weren't. First year or so I hated it because it felt like a punishment. I felt like I was here because I was in trouble, but since then I started to love it. Everybody here is like a family. We don't have drama or any of that because MRC is a place where you go and you make lifelong friends.
Reporting for Xavier News, I'm Connor Muldoon.
North of Cincinnati, the Warren County coroner has ruled the death of a 4-year-old boy a homicide. Police say Anna Ritchie, stepmother of four-year Austin Cooper, was said to have put Austin's legs into scalding water as a punishment. Emergency crews responded next morning to reports of a child not breathing. Austin was taken to Atrium Hospital but was pronounced dead. Ritchie was arrested and charged with child endangerment. The judge raised the bond to $350,000. She is currently held in Warren County Jail.
The future is finally here. Nike revealed the first ever power lacing sneaker, which the 1989 film Back to the Future Part 2 predicted would be popular by 2015. Not too far off. This invention is expected to bring $30.6 billion in increased revenue. The self-lacing sneaker is called the Nike Hyper Adapt 1.0 and is expected to be out by the holidays.
That's all from the Xavier News Desk. We'll be right back with the Xavier Sports Report with Michael Chase. Rocket.
Welcome to the Xavier Sports Report. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get started. The Xavier men's baseball team won its home opener 12-4 on Wednesday against in-state rival Miami. The Musketeers matched their season high for home runs with 4 and were led offensively by junior Matt Fallon, who went 3 for 4 with a homer and 2 RBIs, as well as 3 runs scored, and sophomore Ryan Bannon, who went 2 for 2 with a homer, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. On the mound, Xavier also matched the season high with 10 strikeouts, led by starter Trent Assel, who picked up his first win of the season. as the junior lefty pitched 4 innings, striking out 4 batters, giving up 3 runs on 6 hits. Freshman Trey Schramm as well made his team-leading 6th appearance, going in and third scoreless, dropping his team-best ERA to 2.45. Xavier will continue its homestand as they have a 3-game series against Central Michigan. Game 1 is today at 3 p.m. Congratulations to junior women's tennis player Sydney Liggins for being named Big East Women's Tennis Player of the Week. This is the first time this season Musketeers received the honor. Liggins went undefeated in singles play last week, topping SIU Edwardsville's Lexi Aranda 5-7, 6-1, and 6-4 in sets, and Florida Atlantic's Ana Gutierrez 6-0 and 7-5 in sets. This is the first weekly honor for the Caledonia, Michigan native this season, and the 4th of her career. The women's team opened Big East play today against Georgetown and Villanova in Washington, D.C. Good luck, ladies. Safe travels and keep up the good work. Now, with the NCAA tournament underway, and hopefully you've all filled out your brackets, tonight at 9:30, the Xavier Musketeers will take on Weber State in St. Louis, Missouri. This is the 10th tournament appearance in 11 seasons, and the Musketeers hope for another deep tournament run this year. Led by all Big East first-team member and leading scorer Trayvon Blewett, Big East Conference Six-Man Award winner J.P. McCura, and unanimous Big East all-freshman team selection Edmund Sumner, the Musketeers seem locked and loaded to take on March Madness by storm and make a run at the national championship. I've got Xavier winning 75-65. Good luck, boys, and bring it home for Xavier in the Cincinnati area. That's all we got today. I'm Michael Chase, and as always, let's go X.
This is Xavier News.